Hi everyone. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the devastating news Sony decided to bring us today about how in January 2028 they will no longer be producing physical discs for their games. Whoop-de, that's exactly what we wanted to hear. Especially after finding out that people's movie purchases got taken out of their library because, like 500 plus movies are no longer within their license. Like, they don't have the license rights to those movies anymore, so people just are just screwed. They don't get to keep those movies anymore. PlayStation can just take them away. And if it can happen to movies, I am sure it can happen to games. Like, we all know this. And Microsoft slash Xbox is not safe from this since they also rely on Sony's discs. So, really, just it's not only people that enjoy video games that are screwed, but movies, TV shows will likely get affected from by this too. Really, if you're just a physical media person in general, then this is just going to affect you. And this is really devastating, very dystopian. Going down here, Nintendo likely is not safe from this either because, well, number one, they kind of ushered in this all digital future to a large extent because of game key cards. So I'm sure they will welcome the all digital future when that arrives very soon. I know it's hard to see, but got some DS and 3DS games back there. But yeah, this is just, it's so disappointing, man. Like, I mean, I know I'm a big PC player. A lot of my games are on Steam and now more recently, GOG, because you actually own your games on there. But yeah, despite that, I still like collecting games for my PlayStation consoles, and my Nintendo consoles. This is just some of the games I have. Can't really see the other games back there, but while I may not have as much as, some collectors, I'm still happy with my little collection. And I have no intention of giving it up. I used to trade in games and mostly games, but sometimes like books or movies back in the day, but as of recent years I've just been like really gripping my physical media because it's just so hard to replace nowadays, especially if the game or movie or whatever was just like very limited print. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. So yeah, I'm kind of just keeping a grip on my physical collections. And of course, this is just going to be devastating for retailers, especially ones like GameStop, because they're already going down the shitter. Like, as of now, they barely even sell games, and their retro section really sucks. It's mostly just merchandise now. So, they're probably not even gonna last a decade. I would say like a decade is probably the very longest they're gonna last, and that's being extremely generous in my opinion. I mean, yeah, they can rely on, current gen, PS5 discs or whatever, but I think especially when GTA 6 hits, that's just gonna really kill them. Um, I mean, assuming that all games are just going to be codes and boxes, you know, if because Sony did say that, hey, you can still buy games at retailers, but it's probably just going to be a freaking code in the box, just like with GTA 6. So, which we know GameStop relies on trade ins and pre owned games, so, and you can't really do that with a code in a box, so they're just fucked. Um, yeah. And I think I do blame the GTA 6 pre order situation a lot because, you know, people were not hesitant to spend $80 to $100 on a digital only game that they have not seen any gameplay of yet. So, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Sony made this announcement like days after that whole incident. So, yeah. I've just been very pissy about this news all day. I wanted to say something, show off my collection a little bit. We got PS2, PS3, PS4, one PS1 game. I mostly grew up with PS2, so that's the only PS1 game I have right now. I did have a SpongeBob game on PS1. I think it was Super Sponge. But yeah, maybe I'll have to get that game again someday. And PS5, I don't know if I mentioned that. And down here, like I said, Switch, DS, 3DS. This is my original 3DS that I got way back in the day. I still have the box. And while this is not a game, it's a old computer program that I decided to keep. Um, Kind of glad I did, even though I can't use it anymore. Um, Kind of just going back to lack of, like, going back to the whole digital only future. I no longer have any computer that has an optical drive, so I can no longer use this, unfortunately. But yeah, just another example of how we're just forced into going all digital. Well, I shouldn't even say forced, because part of it I think is our fault. um and I don't even hate digital distribution or digital games. I think they can actually be very good. Like, you know, they cut costs, they help indie devs get their games out there. And yeah, so I do see value in digital, especially since it is convenient, but it should not be our default choice. It should not be our only choice. And I think we should just let our voices be heard. We should be complaining about this. I mean, I know Sony wants to shut down the PS3 store again, I think next year in July for North America. I think in other regions it's going to be this year, later this, actually in a few months. I keep forgetting, if not next month. I keep forgetting it's already July. Um, so that's unfortunate. I know that people complained a lot back when they tried to shut it down the first time. What was that, back like in 2021, 2022? And, you know, Sony halted that, thankfully, but I think they just really want to shut it down. And I don't want them to, of course, but I just think if people can push back enough for Sony to change their mind on that, at least temporarily, maybe hopefully we can at least kind of push back or I want to say delay the, well, I don't want to say delay the inevitable, but um that kind of just might be what we're working with. At least give us some more time with our physical media, man. Like, but ideally, we should just have it forever, honestly. Like, we should just have that option forever. And hopefully, you know, if we just complain enough, bitch enough, they'll listen. And we also have to vote for our wallets, too. Like, just do not buy digital as much as you can. Take care of your physical media. Don't trade it in, I guess, unless you really need the money. That's what I would suggest. And I know that people cannot always get physical. It's not always viable for people. I get that. But I don't know. I just really want us to have options so that we can buy how we'd like to buy, so that we can trade and save some money. But yeah, uh, this is all I have to say for now on this video. These are my thoughts and a little bit of my collection for PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. Yeah. Thank you for listening.